Assalamu brothers and sisters. So before I go into this update, I want to begin first by saying that it's absolutely imperative that every single parent in Tower Hamlets writes to their head teacher and governing body of their local school, stating that you do not agree with the council's guidance on RSE. Okay, and perhaps also do the same thing by writing to your local political representative, so your local councillor. This is extremely important, and inshallah you'll understand from this update why that is the case. Assalamu alaikum brothers and sisters. It's been a busy few weeks and I haven't been able to record any videos. So I wanted to, as you know, I've been really busy with dealing with this relationships and sex education issue in Tower Hamlets. It's pretty much taken up all of my time. I wanted to just give a quick update in that regard, just about that. So there's really three things I want to say. One is I wanted to say a few words about the council and how things have gone with them and the council's kind of position on this issue. The second is what we're doing as a community. And three, I want to say a few things about something that's come to my attention about other boroughs, but for their attention, other local authorities and other, so that they can also check in on what's going on with their local authorities and schools. So firstly, things haven't gone particularly well with the council. I don't mean that there's been a breakdown of relations or communications or anything like that, but what I mean is that there is sufficient evidence now that the council has taken a really strong kind of muscular liberal line, to use the terminology, to use the kind of phrases that are already out there, and they're pushing for a kind of position that I would say as is the worst case scenario for the Muslim community. That is my interpretation of the direction that the Tower Hamlets Council has taken. The various justifications are being offered for that. I might talk about that another time. There's a few other videos of me in public meetings where I've spoken about some of these issues that we can look into. But the bottom line is, you know, LGBT education has been introduced at Key Stage 1 when it's possible for it to be introduced a lot further down, all the way until Year 6. Sexual body parts are being introduced, I might add, in at least in the council's advice, basically, in details that I honestly don't believe schools will actually follow the recommendation, because I couldn't even read it. That's how inappropriate I thought it was. But anyway, that's being done. There's a bit in there about defining gay as a man who loves a man, and defining lesbian as a woman who loves a woman, to Key Stage 1 children. So that's 5, 6, 7-year-olds, etc. So in terms of the position taken by the local authority, and I don't want to whitewash it, there are one or two good points in there as well, and this is still very much a kind of briefing that I've come to know about that isn't final. So I hope that through your good efforts and through du'as, and hopefully through people eventually seeing sense, this isn't what will actually happen. But that's the kind of direction it's taken. So I want to say, Tower Hamlets Council, what the heck are you guys doing? And anybody that's involved, councillors, you know, like where are you? Where's your voice? You're here knocking on our doors when you need our votes, right? But now there's something that affects our children that we're really concerned about, you know, as a community and as parents, and you're nowhere to be seen, right? I've not heard one word, one whisper from a Tower Hamlets councillor. So that's one thing. Not going well on that front. On our front, we realized, so first of all, we felt that we had to organize ourselves. So we set up something called the Muslim Education Committee. So I'm involved in it, and a few other volunteer brothers and sisters are involved in it. We're trying to get things going, but it's out there now in the community. We've had a public meeting in Darul Ummah inviting Muslim community leaders, and we'll probably start sending communications out and so on as well soon, inshallah ta'ala. So make dua for that. And as part of the MEC's work, the first thing we're prioritizing is an articulation of the Muslim community's position on RSE. So kind of formally write up what exactly our concerns are as a community and why, and what we suggest local authorities and schools should do, and what we ask of them not to do and why. So kind of along those lines. We're still working on it. So make dua inshallah that goes smoothly and successfully. If you would like to get involved in that and volunteer for that, particularly if you're good at drafting things, writing, etc. We have a background perhaps in policy writing or curriculum writing, that kind of thing, then please do get involved, because we are struggling for manpower. So that's one thing. And then the idea then is to then make that document public and then use that as a reference point, so that it's easier for parents and for the community to simply say, that's our position, rather than have to articulate an issue that is, it's got potholes all around it, basically. So it's a difficult issue to talk about without inadvertently upsetting somebody's sensitivities. And we acknowledge that and we understand that. So we'd like to help everybody basically by articulating a position that we feel probably reflects our religion and our sensitivities, inshallah ta'ala. So that's what we're trying to do. And then the next step will be, inshallah, to hold a large public meeting, perhaps launch this, and a few other things, perhaps produce more documents as well, to help schools. And again, really our position is we want to help and support our schools. I genuinely believe that a lot of our head teachers are going to take a much more responsible line than what I am seeing from the local authority, and inshallah they will speak to you as parents, and they will talk to us as community leaders, and they will take a much more responsible line. I have that faith, at least with regards to a significant number of head teachers in Tower Hamlets, and I think you will all see evidence of that, inshallah ta'ala. Myself, the Muslim Education Committee, will be there, inshallah, to help and advise. Hopefully the documents that we will produce, if we can produce them soon, will further that along. Lastly, there is the possibility of producing resources and other materials as well, if we can get around to it, and if you support us, inshallah. Lastly, in one particular communication, we were told that without specifics, but we were told that the kind of position that Tower Hamlets Council is taken, which again categorically is a position that we cannot accept. Right? I'm telling you based on the direction that it's going in, and at some point we'll basically start to specify, why we think the Tower Hamlets position is what it is. Right? Clearly, things are being communicated to us and to other stakeholders that makes us feel this way, and I've been told it to my face as well. So anyway, so we were told in one communication that Tower Hamlets feels confident about the position it's taking because lots of other boroughs are taking the same position. So that would also, I'm not surprised, by the way. So people have their biases, right? So I'm not surprised. I don't hold it against individuals that they're taking this position. They're trying to do what they think is right. But we have to obviously respond by doing what we think is right and defending our rights, right? So I just want to say that we were sent a list of boroughs, a list of local authorities, basically, where a similar kind of strategy was being followed. And I want to quickly read through that list to alert you to the fact, and to alert you to this, so that if you're from those areas, if you are under those local authorities, then you should be concerned and you should be doing something about it. Whether this is accurate or not, I don't know. but I have the communication. So if anybody challenges me, I'll say, well, this was sent to us, right? So those local authorities are Barking and Dagenham, Barnet, Ealing, City and Hackney, Hammersmith and Fulham, Haringey, Harrow, Kensington and Chelsea, Lambeth, Waltham Forest, Westminster, Brighton and Hove, Doncaster, Herefordshire, Lancashire, Leeds, Liverpool, Luton, Manchester, Milton Keynes Council, Newcastle, Nottingham City, Nottinghamshire. So if you're a Muslim in these areas and your children are attending schools in these areas, we're being told that the kind of policy that Tower Hamlets is recommending its schools to adopt is being adopted by these areas as well. So if your children's school is in this area, you should be concerned about it and you should actually do something about it. Okay, I'll end it there. Jazakumullah khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Make dua for us. Please support us when we need your support. And of course, if you can volunteer to help us out with our work, particularly drafting, please shout out your names. Okay, assalamu alaikum.